Oh, no.
We want to welcome you to this week's Politically Correcting podcast. My co-host, Lavelle Lewis, who is done celebrating his birthday.
Yeah.
Still recovering.
Recovering. Yes.
Dan from the streets is gracing us with his presence.
He's back.
Austin on the ones and twos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a mic right now.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Everyone get your drinks out. Let's toast to the ability of most of us to be able to have a drink with another person, have open and honest dialogue, and being able to walk away still being friends. Salud.
I thought you had an extra one of us.
You mother...
Yo, they didn't have any, by the way.
What? Course.
Yeah, the way.
River's running dry.
But you want one?
Well, I mean, not
I'm not gonna
this
give you
one.
this one.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
This guy's over here. You guys can have this conversation before the podcast.
Well,
The unprofessionalism
You got
is above
so
and
many
beyond.
pictures to upload.
God, first of all, I love uploading pictures.
That's right.
it's kind of.
OnlyFans, Jose Peo.
Only that's right. You got paid double. The verse of the week is actually for our guest who is running a little late. That's all right. We'll see him when he comes in. He's running on Lavelle Lewis time. 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like
Thank you,
men,
sir. Cheers.
be strong. Let's break that down. Be watchful is to be awake, not woke. Awake. Stand firm in the faith. Do not let yourself become corrupted by the ways of this world. Act like men. Now, I know it actually says quit you like men in the King James Version, but they both mean that you should not be childlike, but instead use the knowledge and understanding of an adult so that you are not afraid of the people who try to corrupt you. And the last part, be strong. Have a strong will to oppose people who try to corrupt or divide you. That's the verse of the week, 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Men. Man. Guest when he comes in, talking to you.
Facts.
Anybody can be one. Might as well be a man.
If you have the choice, why the hell wouldn't you want to be a man?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's start. Actually, we're going to start with something a little different this week. We're going to start with the daily hypocrisy. Let's talk about the influx of illegal aliens in New York City. Check this out. This is hilarious to me. I don't know if it's funny to anyone else, but it's funny to me because if you... Nope, that's not it. That's later on. No, New York City. Good Lord. This is what happens when I don't get here an hour early. Come on, New York City. You got mayor.
Where
that
would
right
they
there.
be
That
coming
guy
from?
right there. Yes, that one. The
That
only New
dude.
York City one. Come here.
Yeah, you know, you'd think the only person that gets paid around here would be able to do that.
Mayor Adams.
Oh, that's my favorite guy
That's how
right
I
here.
labeled it, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Actually, I gotta say Mayor Adams.
Is that the president from 24?
Oh, right.
If you don't recall, when he was running for mayor of New York City, he was talking about how we need to embrace our diversity and include all illegal aliens. They should have driver's licenses. They should be able to vote. They should be able to be treated like
they should be citizens.
they should be citizens, legal citizens.
You know,
Now,
just be a citizen.
just be a citizen, right? The legal way. Mayor Adams, influx of illegal aliens, a real burden on New Yorkers. Whoa, that's a different tone that he took there. He says this is a real burden on New Yorkers as we're trying to do the right thing. We already have an overburdened shelter system, meaning a lot of homeless people. So now we're talking about food, clothing, school, because that's what we're giving illegal aliens that come into this country illegally. This is going to impact our schools because we do not turn away individuals because they are undocumented. Also, translation services. There's just a whole host of things that this is going to produce. He had referring to the expected negative externalities from the surge of asylum seekers, not asylums. Look, I get if you are actually seeking asylum. I get if you're coming from a country that is raging war and you need to get out of that country ASAP, or that country is killing off people left and right. I fully grasp that. You want to come to America. I get it. Absolutely. We should help you. But when you cross the border illegally, you know that you're going across the border illegally. That's a whole different realm. We don't see that in Canada. We're not going into Canada illegally. The Canadians are not coming here illegally.
You can't get into Canada legally.
Right. Can you imagine if we tried, if all four of us tried going to Canada right now,
Oh my God.
and we just decided to walk across without stopping and bringing, all our kids?
I can tell you who'd be the most likely to get the furthest. Austin is the biggest.
Yeah. Austin would be the furthest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's because we all have kids except for Austin.
That's right.
We would be like, oh, come on, kids. And they're slow.
That's right. We got, man, freaking angle weights.
Right. But remember the governor of Texas, he was pulling all of the illegal immigrants into airplanes and sending them to different cities
Right.
and dropping them off.
He said, hold that. I don't care.
Right.
You
So he
want
did it in New
open
York
borders?
City. He did it in Washington, D.C.
Hell yeah.
If you look up news from Washington, D.C., they're having the same problem. And they're crying about the same issue. Hey, we got too many people coming in. We don't have enough services for them. Well, duh. We don't have enough services for our own people. Let's get into next. I'm going to get into it used to be a daily COVID update. We have hereforth since changed it to the daily monkeypox update.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring that up, please. 2 children. 2 children have contracted monkeypox.
It's a travesty. It's just two children too many.
Well, we know what I actually, the week that everybody was missing when I was the only one on here, I talked about monkeypox. And I spent a good 15, 20 minutes on how to get monkeypox, how to test for it, how to get over it, how to fix it, yada, yada, yada. And we talked about how monkeypox right now is being spread amongst mostly gay men. I think it actually was during one of the podcasts that we ended up on as well. If you read this one on the left, 2 children have contracted monkeypox, CDC director says. It says 2 children are among more than 2,500 people. So more than 2,500 people and only 2 kids in the U.S. who have contracted monkeypox. We have seen now 2 cases that have occurred in children. Both of those children are traced back to individuals who come from the men who have sex with men community / the gay men community. And so when we have seen those cases in children, they have generally been what I call adjacent to the community most at risk. If these were just children that were in a household where their fathers were gay and their fathers had, monkeypox and they hugged the kids or whatever, I don't think it would have said adjacent to the community. I think they would have said it got it because they live in the same household and you're bound to get, whatever it is because of that. This doesn't say that. And I have a problem with that. Right. Because what else can you get from that? What else can you grasp from when they say adjacent to the community most at risk?
It's just a play on words all the time, man. Whenever they're reporting something, it's always like some just unnecessary labeling of these situations. And instead of just being honest with the people, like just be straight up.
No, there is no straight up. But the article on the right, I had to find out a little bit more about this because I was like, come on, there's got to be more information. So the article on the right is a different article. But if you look at the last paragraph, one is a toddler who lives in California, and the other is an infant who is not a resident of the United States and was transitioning through the Washington, D.C. area when the test was done.
That doesn't say transitioning.
Transiting through. Thank you.
Transiting. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You can't say transitioning.
No.
Say, whoa.
I'm pretty sure that it would be kind of semantics there, but still transiting through the Washington, D.C. area.
Not the same.
So we have an illegal alien who's bringing in monkeypox, and we've got a toddler who lives in the most far left state in the country that has monkeypox, and both got it from adjacent communities.
Real quick, 2,500 people got monkeypox right now?
Over 2,500.
Over 2,500. How many people in the United States?
That was in the United States.
That's in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people are in the United States, period?
347 million.
Oh,
Más o menos.
all right. Wake me up when we're at like, I don't know, 1% of the population.
Well, this is going to go right into the daily conspiracy theory. Oh, yes. This is where I'm going to bring up some Biden positivity. No one was ready for this one. No one was ready for this one.
I almost spit this all over my microphone.
That would be gay adjacent.
This article right here.
Gay adjacent.
So, remember when there was this conspiracy theory that stated that America was going to allow the WHO to be the overall control mechanism for the world when it came to diseases, and they would supersede all U.S. governments. This guy is yawning already. Look at this.
Motherfucker, I got little kids.
Here we go. You've been off for 4 weeks. They would supersede all governments. It doesn't matter what your laws are. We will supersede it as the WHO. Well, President Biden decided, this was back in January, we're not going to sign on to that. It says right there on the one on the right, Biden administration skeptical about the WHO. It says United States World Health Organization's top donor is resisting proposals to make the agency more independent. 4 officials involved in the talks said, raising doubts about the Biden administration's long-term support for the UN agency. That's not the conspiracy theory. All right. And that doesn't end it either. Right there on the left, exclusive U.S. opposes that, the same thing there. It opposes plans to strengthen the World Health Organization. So we didn't allow them to take exclusive priority over our government. Hey, Austin, over our government being able to make decisions on what our government, how we would react in case there was an outbreak of something. And this right here is exactly why. We've got the WHO Director General, declares monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. Now, that's not the problem, though, because we already expected that they were going to try and pull some BS, right? They were going to say some little known disease epidemic is going to be coming, and we have to really make sure that we do all we can. If we look at the article on the right, when they first met a month ago, this is the WHO, on June 23rd, the EC decided against declaring monkeypox a public health emergency by a vote of 11-3. That was last month. The cumulative case count at the time was 3,621 infections. Since then, cases have exploded to over 16,000 cases in at least 75 non-endemic countries. 16,075 countries, with a 7-day rolling average of 535 per day in 75 countries. This part, despite this massive global spread of the virus, after several hours of deliberations last Thursday, the EC reached a vote of 9-6 that there was still insufficient grounds to declare monkeypox a public health emergency. Dr. Geoffrey decision to overrule this vote is the first such overruling in the history of the WHO. If President Biden had went along and signed on to the WHO overtaking priority over decisions making in our country regarding diseases, this man right here, Dr. Geoffrey would have been dictating. He would have been the dictator because he went against the board that said, no, it's not quite yet a public health emergency. His own board.
That Bill Gates money goes real long, that organization, huh? And I'm trying to figure out.
Allegedly.
Oh, there's no allegedly about that one.
I got to put that up.
Y'all can look that one up. But with Biden, and this was being discussed with the pandemic, right? With Trump, the WHO, they had so much influence on the entire world over this pandemic. So monkeypox, yeah, Biden's being tough now, but all they need is to create something else that could be a little bit more scary and delivered a little bit better than monkeypox.
Or maybe his backup.
No, all they need is propaganda. 9-6 on this board. They just needed 4 more dummies.
Two
more. Yeah, they just needed 2 more dummies. So we're close. I mean, I wouldn't applaud Biden for shit because, yeah, this is probably lulling us to sleep. But how many more years we got of Biden?
3.
Ooh.
No, I'm sorry. He's halfway through. 2.5.
2.5. So
I doubt we're gonna see another year.
Who knows what can happen around election time?
Bro, there's no way he's making it another year.
Who
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
The WHO knows.
Either him or Kamala. What do you pick your poison?
Kamala.
We might get the same shit that we got with we're used to it in New York.
I was gonna say same thing we got with
Governors,
Cuomo, and then we
yeah.
got the the lady behind him that says, I don't care about facts or data. I'm just gonna make my own decisions.
Crotchel.
And then all we need is another pandemic where we have Kamala Harris as the leader of this free nation.
Well, we see everything that's happening during the midterm.
The cackling witch.
Right.
We see what's happening during this midterm election season, where they are forcing the hand, which is a very smart move on the hand of the Democrats. They're forcing Republicans to say where do they stand on certain issues when it comes to gay marriage, when it comes to interracial marriage, which is really stupid. When it comes to Roe v. Wade, they're saying, and the gun issue. All these issues are coming up right before the midterm election.
That's all they're doing is gaslighting. That's what they do.
You think there's something else behind all this?
No, it's just all it is just it is just stoking the fires and the fears of people on the right. That's it. And all it is just it creates conversation with their base, right? It wakes them up. Oh my God, did you see CNN? You see what them Trump supporters is doing? Mm-hmm. They don't want you to have a right to your body. They create these old bullshit ass conflicts like true narcissists and whatever, man. I don't think it's smart. I think it's pussy politics.
Yes. Speaking of pussy politics, we're going to bring it back to local. Let's bring up this state article when it comes to speaking of violence. It should be a whole it should be talking about that right there. You are spot on. This is the state leaders who are calling for a Homicide Witness Protection Act. We already have that. So the state leaders, this is Senator Cooney. And first of all, I know
say that.
I can say that. I know Senator Cooney personally very well.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah. I know him very well. I consider him someone I can easily have a coffee with and not have any issues. He's a state lawmaker. He's aware of the wrongs done to those who assist police by sharing information about violent crime. So they say snitches get stitches, right? People are afraid to speak up to police about some of the issues that they saw. This person shoot that person right in the middle of the street, or I saw this person break into that house and then came out after a gunshot, whatever it may be. Well, he proposed a Homicide Witness Protection Act. We already have that, right? Rochester already has a witness protection money and protection houses. We already have it. So let's go to what the county says, because this is all about pointing the finger at who should be taking responsibility. Monroe County legislator calls for City of Rochester to take aggressive anti-crime measures. There's a call for the City of Rochester to take aggressive measures to fight crime. This comes after the fatal shooting of a Rochester police officer last week, God bless his soul, and 2 homicides over the weekend. And since then, we just had the thing come out. Past 7 days, I think it was 4 homicides, a ridiculous amount of shootings. It's the wild, wild west in Rochester. This madness has to stop, Monroe County legislator Mercedes Vasquez-Simmons said. There's now a lack of respect for life that has reached just a different level. I've never seen a city in such disarray. This is another person I would consider a friend. I've spoken with her on multiple issues that I just don't see eye to eye on her. And we've always been just fine disagreeing and being able to say, hey, let's work on something else. We obviously don't agree with this. She's calling not just for more aggressive anti-crime measures. She's calling for the National Guard to come to Rochester. I wanted to get your take on that because I am completely against that.
I think you're all for it, right? Drive those property values to the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
Buy up some real estate.
Why don't you just call it, martial law?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly how I see it.
Just say it. And this is not going to prevent any type of crime. These men are trained to combat war, right?
On the weekend.
Exactly. not prevent some drug gangbangers about to go and light up the block because they don't care. Like, yo, these, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Their ideas, their hearts could be in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more of just a reaction to the problem. You know, fighter. You know,
you want immediate. You want immediate results, and people think that the most immediate result is to bring in the federal government. To police our people, and I've always been against that because being from the military, the last thing you want is me patrolling your streets. That's the last thing
we already
you want.
have Monroe County in the streets. We already have state troopers in the streets, and the further you are isolated from the people who's actually a part of the community, which is RPD, they're closer to the community. They know a lot more than a state trooper or a Monroe County sheriff or even the federal police, because the federal police cars are riding around in our town as we speak. They're around. They don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Well, you think they don't give a fuck, or at a certain point, do they just say it's not worth it?
If there's a problem, if they don't know you, they're like, they don't care. They don't care about proper techniques, proper anything. No. You're not getting out of that fight. You can protest all you want, but it ain't going down. They're not going to care.
Well, the other part of her call is to issue a curfew.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So the people, law-abiding citizens, right, who you're trying to protect,
right?
We can't go outside.
No, you cannot.
Because someone else can't control themselves.
Right.
Yes, they need to stop trying to play like this isn't high school, y'all. Like, seriously.
So we've seen what the state said, which is, hey, we're going to issue something that we already have in place in the city. We see what the county says. Well, just one person from the county states that she wants to bring a curfew and a National Guard. I think that we're in agreement that we're completely against that.
Nay.
Yeah, you're nay, even from the countryside.
Oh, yeah. Well, you said you've seen state troopers in the city. I haven't seen a state trooper in the city.
Because they're in the Northwest, motherfucker. Because they're in the Northwest protecting my district.
How would you know, being the mayor of the South Wedge?
They are in and out of the streets. They are in and out of the streets.
Oh, really? I only ever see RPD.
No,
they're in and out of the streets. And
I don't spend as much time there.
And Monroe County sheriffs, they drive at least, they're two deep every time. State troopers, they're about one deep most of the time.
I don't know who it was that said it right, but if you're willing to take a life, why would you be willing to follow lesser laws? Like curfew.
Yeah, oh my God, they put a curfew, y'all can't go out and pop somebody today.
Yeah, right.
Like,
you don't give a shit.
No, they don't care, man. They're killing cops. And the thing about it, I will say this, and it wasn't someone from the community, which probably, I don't know if it would have been done differently, but the man that, rest in peace to the police officer who lost his life, while trying to, I guess he was trying to solve a homicide, right? When this happened.
Right. He was gathering
intel for a homicide. And somebody from out of this area, from Massachusetts, 21-year-old knucklehead, hoodlum, and just took a man who was close to retiring.
29 years. 29 years in.
He was an OG.
Yeah.
OG, triple
He could have retired long time ago. He said, no, I'm going to write this one out. We still got work to do.
I do want folks from the community to kind of understand too, that a lot of these men that have been been serving this city for about 30 plus years. I was speaking to them when I was down at the public safety building and was talking to a couple of retired officers there. They still are connected to these men and women that's out there, putting their lives on the line. And they want to help too. So I can only imagine that he was doing what he felt needed to be done for this community, because it's fucked up right now.
It is fucked up. And like I said, we've heard about what the state says is I don't even want to say a fix, because it's not a fix by any means. Did you hear something, Austin? Pull up the city one before you do anything else. And then we heard what the county says. This right here is what city council member, or two city council members call for. Rochester city council members call for change amid continued violence. So they go into it. It goes, council members Mike Patterson and Willie Lightfoot both say there needs to be harsher consequences for those with illegal guns. Immediately, I'm for it. Immediately for it. We need a dangerousness standard tied specifically and particularly to gun violence, Patterson said, because if we all can't agree that guns are dangerous and everybody can't have them, what are we doing? Now, me and myself and Councilmember Patterson were the only two who were working with the prior police chief with trying to find ways to deal with the nonsense of judges just letting people back out into our communities.
They wouldn't do it with someone who has a DWI.
No, they won't.
Like they were trying to throw the book at Leticia Stasio for, taking a shot of vodka when she wasn't supposed to. I'm not trying to, dismiss whatever action she took, but what the fuck? Like a gun, they should know. Like I know if I'm driving intoxicated is stupid. And you're going down and the fines is like ridiculous. Stupid. So why aren't they fearing guns? Because like you said, judges is letting them out.
They let them back out and say, come see us in 2 months. And then guess what? They don't show back up.
No, of course not. Why would they?
They don't show back up.
Why would they? Catch me if you can, copper.
Yeah, there's no accountability. And there's no discipline.
Violate me.
Right.
Violate me.
And we got Councilmember Willie Lightfoot. We have to be tougher on the laws that we already have on the book. If you're caught with a gun, it should be very stiff penalties on that. And we have to really look at what we already have existing going on.
Shouldn't this be something that the left fucking really, really get behind?
Why would they get behind that?
I would assume, right? It's about gun control.
Yeah, true.
It's gun control.
Yeah, he does say everybody can't have them. If we can't all agree that guns are dangerous.
Start there. Like if they want some ground sweeping gun control measure, and this will make sure every motherfucker and their mama get a pistol permit. Yo, if you get caught with an illegal hand, whatever, your ass is going down.
Yeah.
Don't let it be loaded.
Used to have it. Project Exile.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have it, but you have to cross so many you have to check so many things in order for you to fit this one thing to be Project Exile worthy, where you get arrested and you go to jail in another state until you go through the court system. They say you're not going to be around your family, friends, nobody. There's nobody for you to be still talking with. No one coming in there meeting with you to keep the business going.
Listen, there's no, oh, I forgot. Oh, I didn't know. There's no, what did I do? No.
So do you think there should be an automatic penalty if you get caught with an illegal gun in your possession?
You're going down.
Okay.
All the way down.
Do you think that will, do you think people would say exactly what they said about President Biden and about President Clinton, about how that has disproportionately affected people of color?
Well, you're always gonna see now. You're always gonna have that argument, but at the end of the day, it's called accountability, right? So, regardless of the criminal, right, and a lot of times when you got folks within the African American community who want to criminalize the police officer, law enforcement, which I'm all for because I'm for that. When a crime is committed, once that police officer commits a crime, he is now a criminal. If he's planting evidence on someone, if he is, deliberately
shooting someone in their back without
those
clear cut,
100%, you are a criminal, case by case situation,
right?
But at the end of the day, numbers don't lie. We got some super high numbers, right? So let's say if within the inner cities we have 60% of black men, who are getting arrested are carrying unlawful firearms. 60%.
I'm gonna go with higher than that.
I'm pretty sure the number is really insane.
Yeah.
Regardless of it, from what number that is, I don't care if you get it down to 20%, 10%. Somebody's gonna get the message. If you get caught with it, you're going down. You're gonna see more men trying to throw guns away, like tossing it, throwing them away. I'd rather have that you know, why they getting pursued than them just shooting at the cops because they don't care.
Right.
Like it.
Oh.
Yo.
In the blue on the right side, Patterson also also argues that there needs to be more police in city neighborhoods rather than less. Lightfoot says the state also needs to do a better job at stopping the trafficking of illegal guns into communities, and that stronger messages need to be sent to criminals that there will be consequences. Patterson emphasized it's up to state lawmakers to do more to make communities safer. So we started with the state, right?
Is that Michael?
Yeah.
Holy shit, he speaks?
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know.
He comes up when he needs to.
I was just wondering where he was. He has the most experience. I mean, he's seen a lot. He was
a county legislator before.
Yeah, he's voted on a lot of shit. So welcome to the party.
All right. Sure. But we saw us start with the states. We went to the county and we came to the city, and the city representatives are saying this: we need more cops in the neighborhoods. We need to hold people accountable to their actions. If you are committing a crime with a gun, you need to go away. That's what the city representatives are what they're saying. And I made sure I stepped back from this because I said, I'm gonna let y'all talk.
because you know
if I said the same exact thing, you know what would be said.
Oh my God.
You know what would be said. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and step back.
Like, Jose, you didn't say nothing.
Wait. I thought we had social workers.
Social workers?
I thought we had the social workers out there. Right, that's what they because that was the whole thing, right? We don't need cops.
The virus disruptors.
Yeah. Reimagining.
I don't think they're working very well.
But God forbid, though, Jose, that you mentioned that before, right?
It's
well,
racist.
This actually brings us right into the young man that we have in front of us today,
Geoffrey Rogers.
Geoffrey Rogers. From GSL Show. We appreciate you coming in and taking the time. I know that unfortunately you are a busy young man out here in the city.
A story, man.
Yeah, again, I've never received this much popularity in a long time. So I've been getting phone calls. I've been working on commercials. It's been a lot going on in the last, I could say 4 or 5 days. So I'm trying to manage everything by myself. So I'm looking for another person to.
You need a manager.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Oh, shoot. No excuses. Huh?
He's half of you, Lavelle.
I know, right?
Half of me.
No excuses, right? Just going out getting it done. Huh?
So you saying half of it where you're 40?
My age, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or you didn't have to agree to that.
I'm just seeing some. I'm seeing some gray hairs there. So I'm like,
hey, you know what? I'm done.
Show's over.
No, I appreciate you coming on.
That's crazy though for 20.
I've been doing it since I was 13, but I don't really count that year because I didn't really have a phone. So I had like a little Android from my mom's dresser, but
it worked, right?
You count that. You
started with an iPhone 5, and now I started on a bicycle, and now I'm here with a bunch of camera equipment, a vehicle, and
I actually remember those. I've been following you for a long time.
I'm about to get, but gas is so expensive. I'm about to
go back to the bike. Heck yeah, because you bought a what? What's the car that you bought? Because you were pretty.
Well, I had 2 vehicles.
Right. What was the one that got shot at?
This was the one I'm driving now, the Ford.
Okay.
And I was in the parking lot, and then I guess there was a fight going on, and shots were fired, but I've been shot at like 3 occasions. That was like the first time my vehicle has been shot, like struck. Now I'm not sure if that was at me, but I mean all the bullet holes went into my vehicle. So Then you say it was you. I guess I would say it was me, but I mean there's a whole I got hookups in the police department. They did an investigation and all that stuff, and those suspects are in custody.
Well, you got more street cred than most people out there.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to get stuff done around here.
You do, and you've been working on the GSL show for a long time. You said since 13. Tell us about where'd the name come from? Because
originally it was GSTD, but my mom and dad, they were like, the STD.
Yeah,
it has to go. It has to go. So then I came up with GSL, Geoffrey Show Live. Okay. It's kind of stupid how it is, but on my LLC, it's GSL Show, but it'll be like Geoffrey Show Live Show, but it's just like GSL Show. It's kind of stupid how I added this. I should have left GSL, but then it was like, it would have been confusing for people to find because there's like a wrestling platform.
Ain't nobody know.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about the origins of that. How did you get involved with that? Because as a young, child at that time, 13, young teenager, the last thing that I would think my 14-year-old would ever be doing is riding bikes around to different news things and taking videos of what's happening. So what got you into that?
Well, my mom, she was not too fond of it. I'm not gonna lie. She was not too fond of it. So I would say the year 2014, it's December. And it wasn't like a couple months before it started snowing.
Okay.
The year 2014. There was someone who was shot and killed at the corner of Upper Falls and Thomas Street. I used to live in apartments there. And then I witnessed that. But it's this reporter, and this is the first time I'm actually saying this on air. I seen this reporter from Channel 10. Her name is Lynette Adams, and I never seen a black
OG.
reporter.
Mhm.
I never seen a black reporter like in the city before, and I've never said this, and I should never said it, but because I don't want her to, be like, oh my god,
Yeah.
But she inspired me.
There you
go.
Why don't you want to say that?
I don't know. I want to wait until I'm like big, like so huge. I want to write her a check and be like, yeah, there you go, thank you.
Everybody wants to wait till they're big to give the shout out to the people that helped mold them to where they are. But shout out to Lynette Adams, because you're right. There at that point there wasn't a lot of people of color, and right now you don't see Latinos on news.
Exactly, and that I think that's a problem.
Especially when all the news stations are on Clinton, and you don't have one Latino to go out there and talk to the people.
I never even thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give News Channel 10 some credit though, because they had Janet Lomax too. They had her for years, and Lynette Adams. So we've had sprinkles here and there. Then Channel 13.
And who was the lotto lady that picked the lotto out?
Oh, that's Yolanda Vega.
Yeah,
Yolanda Vega. Yeah, she was always on the radar.
But she was the best Latina on TV.
She was. But again, you had Channel 10 and Channel 13. And to your point, I mean, Lynette Adams, she always stood out. She always stood out. She always had like some banging heels on too.
Yeah, because I met her when she was before she got the raise. She was a street reporter, so like she used to do what I do. And then, they give her this big promotion, and now she doesn't come out anymore. So she got the desk job. That's what I want one day.
Yeah, why would you?
So what's the difference between a reporter and a journalist?
They're the same. They're literally the same thing.
Okay.
But I don't really, because I mean, I'm a journalist and freelancer. I do a little. I mean, I've worked for nearly every news station in the country now at this point. I've done contracts with all of them: NBC, Fox News, CNN. I've done contracts with all of them. So as a freelancer, you can literally work for anybody. You can get video, or you can be on camera for these people. It really depends on what they want from you. But most of my stuff, like lately, has been on my platform, and I've been building up my platform, to a point where hopefully one day I never have to work, for anybody ever again.
Right.
Because I was like a couple months ago, my last job was working at McDonald's, and I'm not gonna say which one, but I was working at McDonald's, and when they were making jokes about my news thing, they were like, "Oh, I bet you can pick up a camera, but you can't pick up this, this frying pan or whatever the case, whatever she said."
You're like, damn right.
And I was like,
Right.
I'm not going to show up to work. So they called me.
right.
They called me the next day, and they're like, "Geoffrey, are you working today? If you don't come in, then you're fired." I was like, I hung up on her, and I said some stuff I should have never said, but I
burned that bridge.
I did. I burned it. I blew it up.
Good.
I didn't want to come back
Good.
ever again. And I was like, I went broke for like a couple of months. I literally was broke, and I couldn't do anything. And then it started picking up as the weather got warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I started selling merchandise. I started going out there more harder. And I said, I'm not gonna fill up another job application until at least make my first $1,000 on my own without donations or whatever. And I reached out to a couple of people like Wegmans and all that stuff to sponsor me. And then, the money started flowing in slowly. Not the amount I wanted to, but it's flowing in. It's coming in slowly.
Okay.
As things progress.
Oh, I saw you do a commercial for what was the company? Go ahead, you can put them out there right now. You got paid from them.
Yeah. So it would be Lifeline Auto.
Yeah.
At 675 East Main Street. Yeah, East Main Street. Yeah, that's my guys over there. They do all the job for us. So my vehicle, like, it goes through them. Everything goes through them. Everything gets fixed up. So if I get a flat tire or something like that, they'll send it out for me, and then they'll get the job done. You can't drive around in miles and miles and miles and days without somebody working on a vehicle and knowing how your vehicle is or how you want it.
Sounds like you are pulling yourself up from the bootstraps, huh?
Do you believe in that?
What do you mean by that? Like, can you?
Well, were you just the first issue you had was with working at McDonald's, and you said you were broke and you had to start from a place where you did not want to be. You see a goal that you have in mind, so you didn't quit, you didn't stop, you literally did what you had to do. You went through probably the toughest part of your journey, right? working at McDonald's definitely had to be tough because I'm pretty sure you up around there smelling them fries like, oh, I swear to God, I can't wait to get up out of here today. Like,
it was horrible. It was horrible. And I was working at a whole bunch of places, you know, just trying to find the place I wanted to be. And then, you know, McDonald's was my last straw, but, you know, I was working at Lowe's before where I could have been making $17, $18 an hour and somebody strike down my promotion. And I was already getting ready to like leave at that point. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I left there, you know, was jobless for a couple of months, and then I came to McDonald's, and then that was my last straw. McDonald's was my last straw. I just no.
yeah, so you don't see yourself quitting anytime soon either.
No, I'm never quitting. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe when I'm like 70 years old, that'll be my last straw. But you know, in the journalism career, I want to be a street reporter for some years. I want to be doing this for a while. I mean, I'm young. My bones can still stretch beyond belief. I'm still hopping fences. I jump over things. I'm climbing on roofs to get that frame. I mean, just a couple weeks ago, there was a house. Well, there was a standoff. The suspect decided to light the house on fire.
Yeah, what an idiot.
This neighborhood was so fenced up. I had to climb on somebody's roof to get the right footage. So I mean, I'm gonna get that footage. I mean, even if it's in crossfire, I'm gonna do it because that's how passionate I am.
We gotta get this man a drone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know they make those, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you something about the drone thing.
But then he'll need a drone operator. He's gonna have to do it himself.
The
Well, that's what I'm
city,
saying, but like
the
you can't
city-
hop fences.
our
till
police
you're
department,
my age.
our police department has like so many drones and they use
Mhm.
drones for a lot. I don't want to be that person yelled at. And also, you know, we don't have the money for the drone right now, so it's just not gonna happen. It's
So
just
you're just working on those calisthenics.
yeah. I mean, I have a big camera. I'm gonna climb on somebody's roof and get the footage. I mean, it's listen,
Working.
That's
Putting in that
awesome.
work.
Well, that's what's up.
and
Because
plus, and then I have a heavy bulletproof vest on, so it's like I don't know how I'm like buff right now. I should be like, ugh.
you gotta eat more protein.
You are.
For
you
protein.
are.
Yeah.
You are buff based off of your courage and what you do. And to start at your age, man, you should definitely pat yourself on the back. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, man. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You keep pushing.
isn't it an amazing feeling to know that you own what you do, though? That nobody is telling you what it is that you're supposed to be doing or where to be or which story to run or how to run that story. Because to me, that's why I love this podcast, because the news likes to take a lot of things that I say or around with other people that say things and they make it into their whole own thing. I love being able to say what I want to say and say, look, this is how I feel about this. And I don't, if you don't like it, that's fine. But I believe that a lot of people agree with me on a lot of things that's happening in the city, because we don't agree with what's happening.
Yeah.
We don't agree with the violence. We don't agree with the nonsense. We don't agree with the fact that everything has become more expensive. I don't agree with the fact that people can't speak up and say how they feel without being ridiculed by others for having a differing point of view. And one of the videos I saw of yours as well recently was when you were covering the police officer that got shot, police officers that got shot, and one that passed away. And there was some ladies that pulled up right in your way or something, and they started.
Yeah, so I
heckling?
think it was her husband and a wife or girlfriend. I don't know what they are, but they came to the scene. They've been circling around trying to be funny, but they pulled out their cell phone this time, and that's the time I pulled my cell phone out. I didn't want them to really know I'm recording, so everybody's like, "Why you didn't show their face?" I didn't want them to know I'm recording. They came back making jokes about the officer and just making all these corny jokes, and it really irritated me because people tend to do this where they would come to the scene, they would see him live, they would come to the scene, and they will literally make jokes about the scene or talk about death or just make jokes about it.
Is
And
that
I'm
annoying?
like, dude, it's enough is enough. So I was gonna smack their phone out of her hand. That's when the video cuts off. That's when the video goes dark, but it's still rolling. I was like literally about to punch her phone out of her hand and throw it back in her car. Like honestly, like
that would have made for good TV, but it would have taken away from your credibility.
It would have. I held it in that day. That was a stressful day. I was on that scene for 5 hours. I was literally there for 5 hours. I was actually in the area when the shots were fired. So I was there when I watched the officers get transported and thrown into the police cars. It was a very emotional scene because I knew Tony personally.
Yeah.
I just met him 2 months ago, and I knew him. So it really, I'd say it's more personal for me.
Yeah.
Because I have a connection with the community and the police department who has, watched me growing up. And so it was a very emotional. Still, it is emotional, for me, even as a reporter, it's emotional.
I was gonna say, there's got to be some connection there to where the police have some respect for you because of the fact that you've been there for so long, being consistent and being the voice that it is. I've never seen you really pick a side until recently. Honestly, I've never seen you get political by any means until recently. What drew that ire from you?
See, I don't really get political. I do still consider myself as unbiased, but this situation here really got my last nerves because people don't understand that these police officers, they don't have to work in this community. Just like a garbage man, a nurse, a ambulance driver, they don't have to work in this community.
Right.
They choose to because it's their passion and it's what they love. They care for this community. And so when people talk trash about the police and all this crap, I'm just like, have you ever been for a ride along? Have you seen what these officers go through? I mean, I'm on the same calls and I deal with the same thing they deal with. And it just irritates me how everybody was burning down buildings and everything else, for what that police officer did.
Rioting, looting.
Yeah, I understand, not every cop is, cookies and sprinkles. It's not going to be cookies, sprinkles, and rainbows all day. Police officers are human. They have emotions. Things will happen. I'm you know what I mean? Things will happen. People may be racist out there, whatever the case may be. But where is all that now? I mean, 81 homicides last year, 400 people shot last year. Now we're at 44 homicides this year. I mean, where is everybody at? There's a small percentage of people who are out here now who are just like, they're trying to stop the violence. They're trying. But where was all those people where's all these people now when all this is going on? I'm not understanding it. It's like, really?
Right.
I mean, what are you doing? And then I spoke to some, people who work for the city. And I'm hearing a lot of, bail reform and blah, 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 which they need to get rid of that, honestly, too. Because I've seen the same criminal commit 3 crimes in about a month. It's been the same scene, same description, same suspect. He's back out on the streets. That has to stop.
I had a guy in my district on Lyle Avenue. The guy was out on a gun charge, out on the streets on a gun charge. And he goes to, he pulls out a gun on the woman, pulls the trigger, the gun locks up. And so he just starts beating her over the head with it, whoops her to unconsciousness.
When was this? Because I think I heard about that.
This was not that long ago. This was not.
I heard about that.
Not that long ago. And this is one of the main things we were saying. Like, why do we keep allowing the same people to get out on these gun charges, knowing full well that they're simply going to go out there and get another gun and commit the same felonies, essentially, that they've already committed, allegedly, right? Because they haven't been found guilty. You said you talked to some people from the city. I work with some people from the city.
You work with a lot of them.
Yeah, and
you need to tell them to get off their butts, stop being lazy.
Well, I think you did. I think you did a great job.
Mayor Lupin hung up on me.
Do you want to bring up that video?
Oh.
Do you want to talk about that video? Because
she hung clean up on me.
What's her name? Mayor Lupin.
I'm not going to say her name.
Listen, she hung up. She said, I cannot. I can't. She said, I cannot work with these colored people. I cannot control the colored neighbors.
I can show you the exact point of that video. Trust me, I watched this video and
we watched it a couple
because
times.
I saw it.
If those police officers did not get shot, this would have been on the front page. I guarantee it.
Yeah, exactly. I said the same thing. I said, you know what's going to happen? This is going to be pushed right underneath the freaking underneath the rug.
She is so lucky. I swear to God, she's so lucky.
Well, let's just hear the video.
Let's hear.
Let's hear this first part here. This is the why can't we come together? Which blows my mind. Of
in her own words.
In her own words. Yeah, this isn't our words.
Yes.
And do research on that. But what I'm saying is, why is there always an excuse of this side, the police side, or Black Lives Matter side, or this side or that side, or they disagree? Why you can't come together and try to get some of your city council members to come together as a whole? As again, children are dying, people are dying, your citizens that you're supposed to be watching over are dying in the hands of you and other city council members. Like, is that?
I do not accept responsibility for our folks dying. These are
Stop right there.
long.
Stop right there. I don't know if you saw what happened on my podcast a couple weeks ago.
It gets me angry every time I hear that.
She won't take responsibility for the fact that her and bare minimum 2 other people on city council were out there with the same people who were screaming.
Stanley Martin, I'm just going to say the name. He's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
I like him already.
Already. Wow.
I'm calling
Have
out
you
names.
been on this show before?
We're gonna not call.
Have you been on this show before?
They were yelling
No.
ACAB. They were yelling fuck the police. They were yelling all police are racist. They were yelling that they were including all police in one category and then despising that entire category, saying that it's police's fault that our city is the way it is.
Yeah, let's make it even easier for people, okay? Because it's and I don't want to use this man as like anything other than he is the focal point of this whole entire argument with Mr. Daniel Prude, right? They used him and his death as their platform.
Yeah.
And they were making thousands of dollars
off of him.
They won city council.
They won, exactly. And that same platform, this woman right here is also used and capitalized on, and she literally is trying to pass the buck and the blame on other people. Oh, I could not wait to get you on the show, because as you're experiencing this conversation, and I will say this to you as well, just off of my own personal encounter with Mary, I did find her very condescending, very arrogant, and very disrespectful as I'm trying to relay a message and give my point of view. She didn't appreciate and didn't want to hear it.
Did you feel the same way in your conversation?
Yeah, I think people, it's just a whole hot mess, to be honest with you, because I've been repeating myself so much about these women, like Rachel Barnhart, Mary Lupin.
Oh, her too. Huh?
Yeah, because listen, guys. Listen, again, the people are dying in the community, and these are the people you need to be looking at.
Well, you can Google Daniel Prude and their names and see what their statements were from that point all the way up until today. And I guarantee you, they were trying to destroy everything that RPD has done and built within his community. We have a very diverse police force. Little that they know or understand. We do have a very diverse police force. We've had multiple African American male and female police chiefs, ones that the police department wholeheartedly respected. That fraternity within RPD, and I only say this because I know personally cops who have given 20, 30 plus years into this community. I know them very well. They're my relatives. Go back and see who was trying to dismantle that fraternity that's been in the city. And you'll find your answers. But you're right on track. You're naming the names.
I'm gonna do so.
Hey,
you're a journalist. You're doing your job.
You're a journalist.
Unbiased journalists. We do this. We call out names.
You're a journalist and a black man, so I am not going to block your voice from being heard. Let's get to 1048. Let's get to this next part.
Since you can't say, oh, I can't do this, I only have so much power, but you have power in your district. So let's talk about your district.
I do. I have power in my district.
You have a very big voice. There is no excuse. You have a very large voice. For someone who's not a political member, can make a big change in the community, but you here are making an excuse. Who is on the board with our taxpayers' dollars? And then you said you don't take responsibility for the murders and crime that's occurring, and then blame coronavirus.
That is not my fault. That is not my fault. No more than it's your fault or the mayor's fault or the police chief's fault. We're all doing what we can.
We're not saying it's your fault, but do you take responsibility?
But if I take responsibility, then it's my fault. I don't understand what you mean.
Yo, I just want to make sure we all heard.
Exactly
what was said there, because
they made a big stink, right? For a week, bro. A week. This is you on your job. This is why you got to have your your Oprah moments and
Well,
how
isn't
battered
that
you were.
why she should be?
Is she playing the victim right now?
Right.
It sounds like she's playing the victim again.
Right. Like,
But you're using the African American community as this, this community that she has no control over. I can't do anything. I can't help because they're black and I'm not. Like, this is her entire message.
You might be putting words into her.
Oh no! Wait! Oh no!
Yeah, I know.
I watched the video.
Oh, I watched the videos.
No, I'm gonna say it because he probably can't and you guys can't.
Oh, I can say no.
They can say
we can say whatever.
I will get in trouble for it. Yeah, I'll get in trouble for it.
I gotta ask a question about you. So,
Sure.
do you what? Because I really haven't done. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead.
I haven't done really much research on you. But
As a journalist reporter,
very bad for me.
Ooh, I'll give you a
Very
big
bad.
shovel. You can dig.
So,
go ahead.
what do you work for the city or?
I'm a city councilman. I'm on the city council.
Okay, I don't. Oh, that's so bad. I'm fired. I'm gonna fire myself.
Oh no. But see, this is
I'm
where
just now getting into like politics in the city, so I'm like kind of new to
Hey,
this.
But this is
I'll teach you.
Right, but
I'll
this
teach
is
you.
this
So that
is
way you
where
get the truth. All right, because
Right.
they want me out as much as
Mhm.
they don't want you talking. Trust me.
this is
As much
where
as they
that
don't want
big
this video
stink-
out there.
This is where that big stink happened. See, a lot of the positions you see Jose, which you can, and I don't want to talk for the man, but I will talk for the man because something that I said got him in trouble, which it shouldn't have, right?
We will not repeat it.
Don't worry, I don't have to. It's been done.
Yeah.
Damage is done.
So are you?
Damage is
You're a
done.
Democrat though, right?
I am a Democrat.
Why don't you become in the Republican Party? What's going on? Yeah, I think you can only win as a Democrat in the city, but
That's a really good answer.
because people like crime, that's what they love. They love crime.
Well-
They love being they love being fed.
Mm.
You know,
I like
crime.
this.
It's like
The
a-
more this kid talk is giving us hope.
They like to eat bullets for breakfast and dinner and lunch. So that's what they.
Democrats are like the soap opera of the politics.
Now I'm not gonna
local
say
politics. People
you know
love to watch it.
I'm not gonna say all Democrats are bad. I'm not gonna because sometimes I hate Republicans, sometimes I hate Democrats, but the Republicans right now they better step their game up
Well, I'll tell you
they
exactly.
got a great opportunity.
I'll tell you exactly.
because Republicans looks like they got a high chance of winning this state.
They could. They absolutely could.
Oh yeah.
The
I mean,
thing-
looking at Laurent Singletary
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and then you looking at was it Joe Moreau?
Jim Van Bretterode is Republican. Joe Morelli is a Democrat.
Yeah, he's not. I
No,
mean,
he's
I
talking
haven't-
about the other guy. He's
I
going
haven't-
up for
Joe Morelli. I haven't heard or seen much of him.
He'll come around once in a while.
I think
Once
he's
in a while.
kind of waiting. He's trying to play the back for LeBron. But you're talking about there's the other guy who's running against what's his name? U.S. Congressman Schumer, Chucky Boy.
No, I
Who's
don't
going
know.
up against him? He's a black guy. He's going up against black Republican going up against Chucky Boy.
Well, that's the problem. They don't have enough money. The Republicans don't have enough money in New York State. They're not gonna make a dent in terms of that office.
Right.
In terms of the chief, he might, or should I say the previous chief that got ran over by the bus.
Oh yeah.
Look, Singletary's got a chance.
He's got a lot.
He's got a
the more
chance.
crime and the more inflation
Uh-huh.
and the more gas prices do what they do and the more Joe Biden fucks up.
No, the fact that he was loved by Black Rochesterians.
Oh, he was.
prior to
he
Lovely
was.
Warren throwing him under the
He
bus.
was. He was. And, they
And
see this
then
crime.
after,
Oh,
when they
yeah.
started to see what Lovely Warren was all about, they went back to loving him because they were like, "Oh, it's your fault for Dana Prude." But I think that was really I think that was mostly a small group, a small faction of people that were really saying, "This is your fault." Singletary. I don't think most people said it was his fault.
The media fucked that up. The media did a really good job with stoking the fires and
Oh,
piggybacking
100%.
off of George Floyd
100%.
and really bringing,
Biased.
and they
very
really
biased.
brought the national, media into Rochester. And
Mm.
again, I keep saying it before, and I've been saying this for so long. This city has a rich history of race relations. We need to really, really understand that we are the leaders in this country and always been the leaders in the country when it comes to race relations. Look at the fucking facts and history.
Well, speaking of race relations, go ahead. You're gonna love this one.
On any citizens, have you knocked on any citizen's door in your district to try to get people together? Because I can knock on door. I'm by your district right now. Actually, I'm in your district right now because again, crime is occurring. And can I knock on a few doors and ask, did you speak out about Or have you tried to get anything together in your district to at least, I mean, if you can't do a big part for the whole city, then you can do what's in your district. You can knock on doors. You don't need to have political power to do that. You can knock on doors. You can try to get people together. Have you done any of that recently because of the crime that's going on? Again, I'm going to mention again that 15-year-old boy was shot in your district, and you have not made a comment. I've contacted these people. You haven't made a comment. You haven't spoken to these families. You haven't spoken to not one family.
I'm just wondering, are you contacting me as my male colleagues?
Make it a
Say
sexist
again?
thing.
Just wondering, are you contacting any of my male colleagues with the same questions?
Again, they haven't called me. So when they call me, these will be.
I just feel like, you're holding me to this standard that is difficult to achieve. I don't want to make excuses.
So what have you done?
I can do. I am a legislator. I'm not. I can only do so much, dude. I don't want to make excuses, but like, I have kids.
You can stop right there.
Well, the victim.
Wait. Don't
The
give her credit.
victimized-
She said she doesn't want to make excuses.
Oh my gosh!
But she did.
But she did.
She did a lot.
She's
Usually when people say that,
people
say that, they are gonna make it.
Yeah, right.
Here
Yes.
comes the excuse.
I'm not gonna make an excuse.
I don't
Dude.
want to.
Dude.
It's really against my great nature.
You know what? Honestly, I can't wait to get my hands on the mayor. Let me tell you something.
Whoa, you can't say that.
Not metaphorically.
Not
Yeah,
my
metaphorically
hands.
speaking.
Not my hands, like
Jeez.
not physically. God, Jesus.
Allegedly.
Not my hands, like I don't fight. I don't know. I mean, like,
I just messed.
I mean, like, sit down and talk with him because
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab into that interview and
Metaphorically.
How do you
metaphorically, because people will screw my words up. They will mix
Yeah,
them up.
they
He
will.
wants to fight the mayor.
Hopefully they speak to you after this, because this is a very, very good interview. And you gave her enough rope to where she, literally hung herself off of her own words.
Well-
She's not speaking for the people of her community at all.
I think that's what he did. He spoke for the people of the community.
Yes,
Because
yes.
most people, I tell you, most people are.
But he
busy.
didn't want to. That's the thing. You didn't want to speak for them. You said, "Look, I'm here. I'll do it. Basically, I'll do it with you. Come out."
Yeah.
But he
Come on,
asked
here
the
you go.
questions
No, but
that
together,
we've
let's do
all
it.
been wanting to
Yes,
ask.
thank you. But like,
you know?
think about it. Most people are busy, right? Like the world's crazy right now. How do you
Mhm.
make enough money to afford $5 gas, right? So you're working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So to have somebody be able to articulate exactly what he said and ask the person that does have power to do things,
But she doesn't, Dan.
she doesn't want to make excuses, but she
There's-
did.
There's more to this, though, right? There is still more on this interview. There is more.
I can't wait till I get to the juicy part.
Yes.
That was in the go back to the go to 11 minutes, because I'm pretty sure that was the part where it was. Go ahead, click on.
Member can make a big change in the community, but you here are making an excuse who is on the board with our taxpayers' dollars. And then you said you don't take responsibility for the murders and crime that's occurring, and then blame
That is
coronavirus.
not my fault. That is not my fault. No more than it's your fault or the mayor's fault or the police chief's fault. We are all doing what we can.
We're not saying it's your fault, but do you take responsibility?
But that's what if I take responsibility, then it's my fault. I don't understand what you mean. I take responsibility in doing what I can to stop it, but I'm not causing it. People would like to believe that it's my fault or Stanley's fault for having a dissenting opinion.
A dissenting opinion.
Or,
I think you're talking about the where she says I can't go out there and wrangle people together because
she
I'm a
can-
white
yeah,
woman.
she can only get, because only white people will show up, and she can't get colored people. Colored people.
Go to 15 minutes and 20
Colored
seconds.
I don't think
would
you
say
can say colored
No,
people.
colored people,
15,
bro.
20.
I listen to everything. And one thing I will not do is I will not let a closeted bigot who is literally blinded by her own bullshit.
It's from a place
Like
of
she
compassion.
gotten away with this shit a little bit too long. And for the shit that we took for a full week for
Not
someone
you, Dan.
who is a legislator, who literally just passed the buck on the people she's using to get her ass elected every single time she collects that city council check. Every single
I
time.
wonder
She
how
should
much their
think about
checks
that.
are.
Good
They're
enough
not,
to where
they're not
good
much.
enough to where you can use this as a platform for whatever else you want to do within your life.
Like a
There's a lot of
podcast.
different, but there's a lot of different perks and also the networking side. These are assets to people who are in this position, but at the same time, you still have a responsibility when you're passing a buck and you're calling people. You're saying you can't get colored people together.
Very inappropriate.
Press it because we need to hear it. We can't talk about it. We need to hear
we
it.
gotta
right?
hear it.
Go ahead, press it.
15-year-old boy was shot in your district, and you have not made a comment. I've contacted these people. You haven't made a comment. You haven't spoken to these families. You haven't spoken not one family.
I'm just wondering, are you contacting me as my male colleagues?
Yeah, we went to that part.
Say again.
Just wondering. Are you contacting any of my male
But
colleagues?
as a backup, or keep it playing.
Again,
though.
they haven't called
She
me.
contacted you because of
So
a
when
post
they
you
call
made
me,
about
these
her
would
and
be-
Stanley Martin, correct?
You're hoping
About how they don't speak for the community and they don't speak up.
Right.
And
but
she
they were-
called you.
They were a part of the BLM, but not for
So
what's
what
going
have you
on.
done?
I am a legislator. I'm not. I can only do so much, dude. I don't want to make
Stop.
excuses, but like, I have kids. I'm a teacher. I do this job. This is the only job that I do.
Wait.
I'm not Anthony Hall. Like, I'm a woman.
What did she go?
Then she
Wait,
said, "I'm a
wait.
teacher.
There she go. Wait,
I'm an astronaut."
She just said, "I'm a white." What did she say right here? Wait, this is the part. She goes, "I'm a white what?"
This is the only job that I do. I'm not Anthony Hall. Like, I'm a white lady in this neighborhood. I don't feel like I have the capacity to organize my neighbors of color. I can speak out more.
I see the eyes that you
I just
made a life in
feel
there.
like I can win in your eyes no matter what that I do.
Go ahead,
What
stop that.
percentage-
That was where I misquoted her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
you definitely
I
misquoted.
did. I did, but she said, first of all, she compared herself. She just let us know that if she was black, like Anthony Hall, then maybe she can get her people of color to
Well, if she can't do what's required by her job, then step down.
step down. Right? Why? But
Step
why?
down.
But why would you even think
Hold the air
about
for 1 second.
forming your lips to say that you are going to speak for anybody of
I'm-
color and tell us what we need
I'm-
if you don't think that you can even speak to them?
Let me tell you that. Then she tried to mention Anthony Hall. People are shooting literally around the corner from where Anthony Hall is. So I mean,
Well, remember Anthony Hall came out of the bar at 2:00 in the morning.
did he?
Yeah, to a death scene. I believe someone got shot and killed. He comes out of the bar. This is public information. There's nothing stopping anyone from seeing this. He comes out of the bar and goes under the tape and starts asking questions. And like, yo, you need to go. You can't be in here. And he's like, no, I got to be in here, blah, blah. So he's like talking back to the police officers in an enclosed, taped off area, saying that he needs to be there. They ended up arresting him because he wouldn't. This was well after they got everybody else out of the area. They talked to like 15 other people. It's all on video cam. All of it is on video cam. Talks to like 15 other people. Told him, you got to back up. You got to get out of the area. This is a crime scene. You need to back up. You need to back up. And he's basically saying, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Whatever I
And
want.
let me tell you something here about Anthony Hall. I know him personally, but I am gonna beat him down a little bit. I mean, there's not enough. You're not doing enough. I'm not seeing enough. There just needs to be more done. I mean, walking up and down Clinton Avenue, Hudson Avenue, Upper Falls, whatever the case may be, it's not doing anything. It's not doing. They might say they've been doing enough. They're in the schools. I see that. Okay, they're doing it. They're in the schools. They're talking to people. They're going to the scenes. But let's stop.
What more do you want to see, though?
I want to see. Don't go to the scene after someone is already killed. Initiate that. Talk to these people. We know who these people are. I mean, this community is so small.
It is.
We
Rochester's
know-
very tiny.
We know people. We know people in this community know who are committing these crimes. Talk to these people. Get these people in shape. It's ridiculous how I see the same thing. And since I've been reporting, I'm seeing the same thing, same results, same answers, same questions. It's got a
Revolving door.
Yeah.
Well, can within just your own experience with talking to folks like, that you see within the community, you're seeing both sides, folks from the community representing the community. Then you have law enforcement, And then you also have government now, right? You got these,
and you also see the regular citizens.
I'm seeing the line. I'm seeing the
Anthony Hall
line.
is a citizen. He's within the community, right? Just because you call yourself an activist, you are not separating yourself.
Well, he is paid by the city.
Oh, he is now.
Yeah.
What is
He's the head of Pathways to Peace.
Yep.
The head.
Okay, so all right, wait. Let me. All right, so I'm very, very familiar with Pathways to Peace and just their overall abilities within the city. That is a very, very good organization if it's led by the right people. The problem, though, I think is when you have people who have divisive ideologies and go into these community-based organizations like Pathways to Peace or like any other organization where the overall premise is to have some sort of outreach to people within the community who are more susceptible to leading down that pathway of that lifestyle. That's why they're called Pathway to Peace, right? There's a name for a reason. So if you're going into that with that divisive mindset to where you're you could be anti-establishment, anti-government, but be anti in the right place. Don't try and just go in and try and create these divisive arguments and just point the finger without any ideals that's going to bring both law enforcement and also these folks who are in the community doing stuff together.
Oh, he's against law enforcement.
I know that. That's why I'm like, how the fuck did he get the job?
Let me tell you something here. Good point. Let me tell you something here. Because he knows people. You have to know people to know people.
But
You think they did an investigation on Mayor Lovely Warren for no reason? Dude, somebody knew somebody.
Well,
somebody. I know a lot. I know more than you think.
I bet. I got
intel on police, regular citizens. I got intel on a lot of stuff.
You're a trustworthy person.
The way she handled the Singletary situation, I think that had a lot to do with it. And at the same time, I'm sorry, your husband was selling weight. Like, come on now, you can't do that. You can't do that. But just for this overall issue,
I feel bad for Singletary.
I do too. I think he got a raw deal.
I think most people in the city do feel that way, and I think that's that may push him over the.
I think so.
He didn't get a chance to properly apologize. He didn't. No, you're not speaking on camera no more. You're gone.
Did you hear about how?
Because they knew he had integrity, and he was by the book.
I want to hear his rumor. What was the rumor?
Did you hear about how he got fired?
No.
From what I heard, this is
allegedly
was that Lovely Warren brought him into the office. Why is it all black? Is it me? Oh,
that's you.
That's probably telling me to shut the fuck up. Told him to take off his badge and his uniform right then and there.
What?
Said take it off and call your wife and tell her to pick you up right now.
Yeah,
you're done.
Disrespectful. That's
what I heard, and I think I've heard that's why his wife hates Lovely Warren. But I think it probably stemmed from before that. I don't know what it was, but
listen, you need to let me take. Listen, no disrespect. I need to take your position. Just whisper in my ear what you want me to say. I'm gonna say it right
away. Yeah, you do it. For real.
When you get
this guy can whisper in his ear, he's still gonna get me in trouble.
Listen, when you get your name in the paper, your eyes get bright, and they saw CNN, and they thought Rochester was in this national stage, and people
making national news like every 4 months.
Yeah, for real, every quarter.
These people are straight up
Black Lives Matter thing.
Man.
There was a Black Lives Matter thing.
What do you think about that whole thing? Tell me about your true feelings about the. I don't support 6 months of. Do you think that was terror?
I don't support Blue Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter. Okay. I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, if you're doing good, if police are doing good, they're doing good. Mm-hmm. If they're doing bad, they're doing bad. If their citizens are doing bad, then their citizens are doing bad. If they're doing good, they're doing good.
Well, some would argue that it's not as black and white, no pun intended, as you say.
But hold on 1 second.
You tell me.
Let me tell you something here. Black Lives Matter. The person who started that has 3 mansions. Mm-hmm. 3 mansions. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we still have a BLM flag up at City Council.
Probably,
really?
She's probably made half of $1 billion already, maybe more.
Oh, she's in there. She's good.
Let me tell you something. Why does I understand? You want to pick and get a little bit for yourself, but really,
that much?
Really though?
And how much she paid her brother?
Yeah, and then for Stanley Martin to make, I'm tell you, those people. One day I got a speeding ticket. Or not a speeding ticket. I was parking a handicap spot during the protest.
Oh,
and
terrible.
One day they were like a big fan of mine. This was before whatever came, before they found out who I was, and they was like, "Oh, we're a big fan of you and such and such." We'll pay for it. Let's go to Home Depot and buy thousands of
This
dollars.
was Free the People Rock.
Yep. Let's go to Home Depot and buy $300 wind blowers and leaf blowers, and let's. So I was looking at bank statements. I was being nosy. I did some research. They probably made about 20 grand plus. I mean, that's what's on paper. I don't know what's
That's Soros money. Working families of
Do you believe in
Rochester.
this? Do you believe in this right here? What he's talking about, a conspiracy theory that George Soros is funding some
Well,
of the.
It's not a conspiracy.
I can't comment on that.
It's not a conspiracy.
I can't comment on that.
It's not a conspiracy anymore. I mean, you look across the country and any place that is connected to. I mean, that's just one pack. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other small packs.
All the attorney generals in every state now.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. This is could be a conspiracy. I was very frustrated around that time, especially when they shut down Wegmans, the dumb fucks that they were at that time when they shut down Wegmans
remember
for whatever
that?
reason.
When they were protesting outside
Yeah,
Wegmans.
I
I was actually gonna be there and cover that, and then
that made no sense.
And
to
then it
me.
made no sense. You're like,
It
what
was
the hell are you
like-
doing?
So I go and ask one of the dudes, what was like, yo, what is this? This is for commerce. This is for, we're doing this for commerce. And then, just within conversating, one of his homeboys came up like, yo, who this dude you talking to? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, man, some coon, right? They just try to dismiss me real quick. I'm like, oh, hold on, Jack. I don't know who you talking to like that. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody no coon. I'm just coming to talk, have a conversation. Like, yo, this is more stuff y'all be worried about. There's a lot of crime going on. So y'all come over here shutting down Wegmans like some dumbasses. So he's like, yo, why don't you
Yeah,
come
I'm
out?
hungry.
We don't just do this. We don't just do this stuff. We do stop the violent stuff, blah, blah, blah.
No, they don't.
I think it was Anthony Hall.
Why
that was there back
hasn't Stanley Martin?
Let me tell you, they gave me a card, right? They gave me a card to call.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh,
looked
I got
the
some more
card
stuff
up,
to say.
and
I
it was
can't
from
wait.
a civil rights attorney's office. So there's a lot. I think
It was an NYCLU.
yeah, and
They're local.
They're local, but they're also connected with some of these
Absolutely.
these little groups
Funneling the
So-
money through.
Right, just funneling the money through. So there's a lot of money. There's a lot of sellouts. There's a lot of people out here that literally are benefiting from the crime. They don't really want any type of stability within this community.
No, because they want to abolish everything.
Yes,
Everything.
people like
all of society.
Soros.
Because it's all based on the patriarchy and it's all based on racism back in the day, whatever it is.
yeah, social
Everything is based on
injustices.
something, and we must abolish the entire system and rebuild it so that we are a socialist country.
Clear fascism. That's all it is.
That has to stop. Where's Ashley at? Also, like,
I don't even know.
oh my
Oh.
God, let me tell you something too. So during the protest, I think I was downtown. Because I walk downtown a lot. So this was during the protest, 2020. Things were crazy, buildings burning, all that stuff. So I was downtown walking, scrolling through on a little scooter thing. One day I seen her coming out the luxury Sibley apartments in downtown Rochester.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Caught her coming out, took pictures of her. She was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" I was like, "What you doing here, huh?
Oh, she's
Yeah.
a side.
Where is there?
Oh, they live in
job-
luxury.
She's
What
a side.
job do you have?" So she's using some of that protest money to also pay her rent, which is also on papers.
Oh yeah, she's a sellout too. I had a run in with her as well.
There's actually.
She said, "Fuck the Constitution" in my face.
Oh hell no.
No, she did. Actually,
Without the
in front
Constitution,
of. First of all, she said, "Fuck white people," and she said, "I don't give a fuck about white people, and I don't give a fuck about the Constitution." And she said that in front of all of those BLM. This is when they had City Hall shut down,
Oh my god.
and I went over there.
when
and
they
was
took
like,
the flag down and put up their own flag.
yeah, so I went out there and called.
they
I
had to
was
like sleep over in front of the
Yep.
city
The
hall.
cookout,
Yeah.
dancing.
was causing a little ruckus that day.
Oh
And that's
my
when
god. Can you imagine though? Can you imagine if the politically correcting podcast network, not network,
Ooh.
if we decided to go take over, and the We the People podcast network decided to take over City Hall, what would happen? Arrested immediately.
Absolutely.
Immediately, we'd be arrested.
Can't have that truth being spread.
I don't think
around.
I'll be arrested though.
Well, you just put on a press freaking jacket, you'd be all
Yeah,
right.
you'd be good. You'd be good. You got to report the story.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna
here.
start wearing press freaking.
This
bulletproof
community is
vest.
so. I think I would say miseducated, not uneducated, but miseducated.
You're
We're
right.
very
Yeah.
Mhm.
miseducated
The propaganda.
Right on there.
when it comes to certain things, and it's not even a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing to me. It's we're refusing to cross the line. I'm watching people who stand out on the corners, who are out there with no criminal records, but you still decide to sell legally, you still, what you can be making like $90,000 a year being a police officer. I'm not understanding it. You have no record. You're under 35. Take the test. Become a teacher. Go to college.
Be the change you wish to see.
Exactly. You live in poverty, so your college is gonna be paid for. So you're set then. Schooling, whatever you want to do, is gonna be paid for.
Mm-hmm.
The state's like they're like people who are not making no money, so they can pay for your college. Let's do it. So why I do not understand it. It's a line that it's a line that of many of us refuse, not us, but many people refuse to cross. Like people are not looking at perspectives when officers are getting shot at and they're saying, oh, that's what they get, blah, 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 blah. But do you know that these officers have kids? They have to go home. They're also human. They have emotions.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I understand.
They don't want to humanize it.
Yeah.
So once you humanize it, that makes it unattainable to break it down into a system.
Just like citizens who are living in these crazy neighborhoods, which I'm one of them, who are hearing gunshots, watching people get murdered.
What neighborhood are you allowed to say?
People will figure out.
What district?
I don't know who runs my district.
Oh
actually.
man,
I gotta figure that out. I don't really pay attention to my own.
490. We're on 490 off of 490.
I live by the airport.
Okay, so that's the South Wedge. I'm sorry, the Southwest
19th Ward.
District.
There we go.
Yep, Southwest District.
So who
That's Lachey Harris.
Not a bad area.
Not a bad area.
It's a great area.
Actually, no.
That's
No,
good
it's not.
rentals over there.
Yep, but no, the area.
Beautiful.
The area has had lots of homicides lately. I can literally walk to a homicide. I've been walking to these homicides.
And
Well, the Northeast is crazy though. That's the Clinton Clifford area.
Yeah,
As the Northeast. That's
like
man.
6 people shot in like 24 hours.
2 police officers killed in what 10 years? That's crazy over there. It's Wild Wild West.
It's scary, and I always think about my safety as well. I always tell people like, you know,
Your parents got to still think about that as well. Your mom.
yeah, they always thinking about it. They always, conserving my safety. People call her all the time.
Yeah.
But if people can shoot police officers, what
Right.
about me?
Where's your
Nah.
Kevlar? You need a Kevlar helmet, dude.
I've been trying to invest into one.
You can find one online.
Get distracted.
You gotta
I've
find
been
that.
trying to invest into one, but I've been like,
Get a military surplus. You can find a military surplus. They'll have a Kevlar helmet.
I've been.
It is like
trying to-
$200.
I know that's the problem.
Yeah, it is like $200.
Listen, you'll get money for it. Trust
Just
me.
put a logo on it
People will take care of you
on the
man.
back. Get someone to pay
Let
for
me
that
tell you
logo.
something. It's not even that. It's just so much going on. I mean, that's not stopping from somebody who sees me, without my uniform on in Walmart or walking my dog down the street and say, there he is. I finally got him without the vest on. Let's, pop him right there.
Yeah.
Boom. It's not hard to find out where I live. I'm a public figure.
Yeah.
you
many
gotta be careful, bro.
People drive by my house every day and say, GSL, come outside and, we love you.
During the protests, this is what they wouldn't put on the news is that there were protesters who were face to face with police officers, looking at their name badge, looking up where they lived, and said, "This is your house. This is your house right here. We're gonna kill your family."
But yo,
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah,
True
how
fact.
crazy is that?
Because I witnessed some of that too.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then they're mad they got pepper sprayed.
the people who are like in the middle of the BLM organization are soft as baby shit. Like they are. The majority of the BLM people are completely soft. Like they're just out there doing it. You got freaking.
Can they come outside now? I mean, there's lots of children who have died. There's lots of people who have been shot.
Doesn't
Where
fit
are
the
they at?
narrative.
A lot of Black Lives that matter
doesn't
right
fit
now.
their narrative anymore.
Listen, I'm gonna say that, Mr. Stretches, we understand. Some police officers do very bad things they're not supposed to be doing. They also do good things, just like citizens. Citizens break laws sometimes. Sometimes citizens are good.
Right.
So can we come to a middle point here where we all just come together and put all that politics stuff to the side and just literally say, hey, people are dying. Kids are literally, the ABC Head Start has been put on lockdown so many times during the school year because someone was shot either outside or near that school. I had a sister that went there this school year in 2 years. She's been going there for 2 years. She's 4. And it's been put on lockdown so many times because someone who's been shooting shots fired in that area during the school year. It doesn't matter what time of day. It literally is from
Broad daylight. Does not matter.
Soon as school start, there was
Soon
somebody
as-
shot out.
Man,
somebody
right
was shot out
off
there.
the school bus. But the funny thing is, you can literally tell me if I say to you, I'm going to judge this person that just got out of jail for killing somebody. I'm judging that person, and I don't want to hire them because they went to jail for burglarizing. That same crew that says "fuck all police" and all cops are bastards will say "fuck you" for judging him. for judging this man, this criminal off of his criminal past. How dare you?
It needs to stop.
Right. It needs to stop. You need to give him a job. Ban the box. Don't ask him about his past. Give him a job. He's rehabilitated, right? He's done his time. But if a police officer does something 10 years ago, they want to know about it. And they want to demonize a police officer that was done
they were
10 years ago.
They were doing research on, like, I think it was the deputy chief and stuff like that. They were like doing research and all that stuff. They were like, oh, didn't he shoot like a little girl or something like that? I'm like, are you serious right now? That was 10 years ago. Are you serious? What about what he's done? What about what he has done in the community? Like, are you serious? But they get so mad when we judge somebody straight out of prison. Oh my God, you know, like the guy who Brockport guy, who got out of jail or something like that. He
shot the cop.
Oh, that went and talked to the students.
Yeah, and
a political prisoner.
Yes.
Yep. And they went and like they were getting mad at everybody for judging him and all that stuff.
Right.
But where's the same balance here? I'm not
That's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy that is so prevalent in our society today.
NYCLU, bro. You got to start
It's
right
more
there.
than that. It's way more than that.
It's more than that, but they are the point person. A lot of if you look at our past police chiefs, anytime that there was a big issue, NYCLU always had the political power to put out a statement. And if they're not the one, so I do believe that they're like, all right, let's be the shadow behind this here, and let's put these people out here, like Ashley Gant. Ashley Gant, if you look at her LinkedIn page, she has NYCLU local Rochester chapter. She's like the president of it. When you go Google NYCLU, you pull up an address. It looks like it's in a parking lot. Their office is in the parking lot. So there's money being funneled through so many different organizations. That's one of them. And again, like I keep going back to that dude Soros, this city, just like so many others in this state that have Democratic leaders, have been following this same blueprint. The same blueprint of quietly attacking local law enforcement, creating instability in our communities, using social issues as a way to create that division.
It needs to stop. And I'm tired of everybody trying to pick and choose sides. It just has to. It's annoying.
Well, people got to be educated on who they're going to vote for as well. That's my biggest problem is that people show up to vote and they literally just go down the line. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. I hate going down the line. I always vote for the person. Never vote down the line. I don't care what, if you put a D next to my name, when you asked before why I'm a Democrat instead of Republican, it doesn't matter if it's a D next to my name or an R next to my name. I'm going to talk the exact same way. So what's the difference?
I tell people all the time, and it's not even that. I don't know. There's many things that needs to be fixed, and I think our country is. When people say this is the best country in the world, then why are Americans leaving the country?
Right. Why
are they moving out of the country?
Why are people dying to come here? Literally.
I don't understand it. Stay in your country. That's what I'm saying. Because this country is becoming a trash can. That's what it be. And we need to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything is about Republican, Democrat, blah, 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 blah. Why can't we do what we used to do? Like when 9/11 happened, we all said, put politics down. Put that down. Let's work together. Policies change. Things, a movement so powerful, it literally shook the earth. And now we're just, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Well, and the problem with that is Americans are spoiled.
Well, the Republican Party did exactly what Democratic Party did, found a way to use buzzwords like terrorism, Osama bin Laden, 9/11, repetitive. It didn't, after a moment, it brought the country together. But then I think it really created that divide because once we started to peel back the layers of what actually happened, that's when a lot of our divisiveness started to begin. Or maybe it could have been before with Bill Clinton.
It could have been President Barack Obama.
There's been so many different.
He was not the greatest president.
Oh, no, absolutely not. This kid is
that.
On fire.
People always say that. I don't have you know what? Actually, I do have my favorite president in history, even though he did have slaves. Abraham Lincoln. He was the best. Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. They were They put their politics to the side for a little bit.
So a Republican and a Democrat that would be called a Republican today.
Oh, JFK would be
JFK would be a Republican.
Far right.
He wouldn't be far right.
They would have labeled him that.
Well, it's funny that, and we're gonna need to end it soon because he's got to get back to his girlfriend. It's funny that the same people that hate police hate them because they're based on racism, right? They're based on racism, but yet they're the same people who say we need to protect abortion, not realizing that Margaret Sanger started Planned Parenthood.
She wanted to eradicate
because she wanted to eradicate an entire race of black people. So if police are based on racism, tell me how abortion is not based on racism as well.
See, I can't comment on an abortion topic.
No, that's far too.
That's way out of my cup of tea.
That's all right. I don't like to usually talk about that because it is like I'm actually pro-choice for the most part until you can see it's a freaking baby. Like if you got a hump, it's a baby. If it's gone to a clump of cells to like something, it's a baby.
Yeah.
It's even then, I don't even agree. I don't personally agree. I'm not going to
talk about.
I don't agree with it.
Well,
but
I can't talk about how I feel about the situation. I don't.
God's going to deal with you. That's what I say.
Yep.
God's going to deal with you in his own way. That's it.
That's a big industry also.
That's
you know what's a big industry?
real-
What's a big industry becoming?
Industry.
The trans industry, where they're converting people from.
I can't talk about
to the
that
other
either.
people.
I can't.
That has quadrupled in value.
I mean, it's becoming more popular, way more popular than I thought it would be. But
Trendy is the word.
yeah,
Trendy.
I don't know.
Absolutely true.
I can't comment on it.
Don't comment on that either. I'm gonna try and save your. I'm gonna save you here. Don't comment on that
I can't
either.
comment on it either.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you. So I don't,
Well,
people live how they live.
as a journalist / reporter,
you got time.
You're supposed to be in the middle. You don't allow your emotions to go either way.
Yeah, I don't even have no emotions over it. I don't know. That's why I'm so good at being
There you go.
unbiased, because I'm kind of almost emotionless.
There you go. Stick to what it is, because as a reporter, you're supposed to just report the news as it is, not take a side. And I appreciate what you do, because you don't take a side. You just report it as it is and allow people to make their own decisions. Let's see. Are there any questions in there that we should be asking?
It was like Kevin's been giving us
geez. Well, he's been
about the
going
trans kids. That's true.
Oh man,
they're out there, the trannies. To kind of,
why has this phone call not been plastered all over social media and the news channels like Jose was when she cried over words?
Well, because again, a situation where 2 police officers were ambushed happened, so that's going to that's going to obviously make bigger headlines. I wish that didn't happen, because I promise you, I'll probably bank off that story.
Yeah,
I would be in LA or California. I would be in California right now, or New York City, literally talking about this story.
We need to get rid of the race hustlers. Any race hustler is out there getting paid off of poverty, and you got to get out of here.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Poverty pimping.
I got in an argument with other journalists, will not say their names, that really thinks that it is a good idea to profit off of your work.
You know what journalist I've seen that before we end this thing here?
Race hustler.
God, I'm gonna get beat down for this one.
No, you're not, man.
He's gonna comment on something. I swear he's gonna comment on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Will Cleveland.
Oh yes. I posted that you're gonna be on the show, and I posted that I said probably the best journalist in the area, and he was like, "Oh, really? You think so?" Essentially along those lines. I'm like,
Will Cleveland, buddy.
I said,
I don't even know him.
I get really evil when I hear that name.
I've invited Will to the show. I've invited every far lefty to the show. They refuse to come on. They refuse.
You've invited who?
Every far lefty, every person you can think of, except for Ashley.
And now he's on the what? PAB board.
Yep,
getting paid.
I would say I can't just say that's the.
They get paid.
Is that a disgrace to
What's
journalism?
happening with our boy?
Oh, I know, right?
Oh, he's suing them.
Who?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
You
I want to see him win.
That's not an admission of guilt.
I want to see him win.
From her.
I want to see him.
I know,
win.
right?
Shawnee Wilson?
Right?
I want to see him get that executive
You're
director
not
seat
that
back.
selfless.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Right. Well, I mean, I would fight for it too. You're getting paid 6 racks.
we've had conversation about this. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the few far lefties that will come on this show and actually speak, and he
can hold his own.
He held his own by
He held
far.
his own. Did a
By
great
far.
job.
You know what? I want to have a sit down. I want to interview Will Cleveland. He's always gonna decline it though.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and interview him. And that's it.
Who's Will Cleveland? Like, tell me something that he did.
He worked for the DNC. He doesn't work there anymore. He did a lot of the beer stuff on.
No.
He went to school. He went to West Roanoke.
He
Wait,
did?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Wait, because this actually got little tears going to my eye. Hold on 1 second.
First of all, working for the DNC, right? It's like
You know him. 100% you know him. But go ahead.
I can pull it up as fast as ever.
I wonder how many. Oh, no, I don't know, dude, man.
And you out of all pictures you decide.
Like
Oh,
that news organization over there has probably influenced a lot of crimes in the negative way in this community.
Stomach dirty. Let me say something here about Will. Will Cleveland. Let me tell you something here. I don't want to like try to like pick at. I feel like maybe I'm bullying. I don't want to say that.
Don't be a bully. Don't disparage.
But
Nah,
how do you
call
go
it
from?
out.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie.
Uh-huh.
As a journalist,
Yep.
I can't say that. Actually, I can't say that.
How do you go from
But-
the Democratic Chronicle to the PAB?
He was. Wait, hold on. He used to be out a reporter like me. He used to come to the crime
Yeah.
scenes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Then, excuse me. Out of nowhere, he comes and starts reporting on beer.
He did a lot
Beer.
of beer.
Using him for his connections, propaganda. How can the police accountability board
Before we end the
you know,
show,
I think he's
yeah.
trying to say, how do you go from actually
Yeah, I know
asking
why.
good questions to
Yeah, but I think that's
Drinking
why.
giving
beer.
reviews on beers? Yeah.
is that like literally like? I wanna
Maybe
bring-
that might be his brand. He might have been.
God, I'm gonna get in
using-
trouble for bringing up this name.
He was
here.
probably using it to put,
influence, man?
potentially make a side thing going.
Let me. How
to
you
be a
guys feel
reviewer of
about
beer.
Daniel Ponder?
Who the heck is that? That name sounds familiar.
These people don't actually know anything about local politics. Literally,
Daniel Ponder is not a politician though.
no, but she's a singer.
But she was out there banging on doors and etc. I had a talk with her at the jazz festival,
Mhm.
and maybe it's not my place to bring up right now. Maybe in the future.
We'll bring you back
You can
on.
come back on again.
Bring me
We'll
back
give some
on.
updates.
I think that it's funny because I saw the video, but then I got a ton of messages from people that watch my podcast, and they were all like, "Did you see this? Did you see this?" I literally got a ton of messages, and I'm like, first of all, yeah, I saw it, and I was happy to see that they saw it because I didn't want to be the one to say, "Look at this." I didn't want to be the one to say, "Look what just happened to this city
Yeah.
council person." I had a whole group that all shared it amongst each other, and you're absolutely right. That same evening is when the police got shot. Unfortunately.
As soon as the emergency thing got put in place.
Yep. And then it just got swept underneath the rug, and no one picked it up after that. That really, kind of is deflating for you, who is a journalist that got a one-on-one conversation with someone who was able to speak their mind freely and kind of got caught with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are both sides are gonna hate me. I think that's what I love. I'm so controversial.
As a reporter, you're supposed to be hated by both
I love
sides.
that. And it gets like, so I made a commercial today and people were like trying to make jokes out of it and stuff like that. I was like, dude,
You got
anybody listen, yeah, this business is getting here. You can laugh at it and joke out all you want, but you're sharing and reacting to it. And now people want to go to this business and feel like, hey,
Algorithms are helping.
Man,
I love it.
Hey,
Laugh-
I see it as
laugh or love it. It's gonna get the attention that I want it.
I see this all as like, WWF wrestling back in
Yeah.
the day. I can be ravishing Rick Rude where people hate me, but man, they want to be me.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves a good heel.
Right. They
Everyone
do.
loves a good heel.
I'd rather be Shawn Michaels,
I
but
don't want to be you.
ravishing Rick Rude. First of all,
I would say no matter what you do, young man, there's gonna always be somebody that's gonna be there to hate.
yeah, don't let
Just
none of that stop you
smile
because
and take it in.
you got a job to do. You missed it. You missed
You
I
it.
ain't
love it
doing
because
your
with
job
these
if you
people
ain't
are gonna
getting
help
no
me
haters.
become a millionaire. And I
There you
love
go.
it.
There you go. That's
There you
it.
go.
I'm gonna get my own mansion built like Tyler Perry.
Or
And those-
Kanye West.
You told I was about
Or
to say,
John
you sound
Leguizamo.
like Kanye
Or
right
John
now.
Leguizamo. So when you get to that level and you see Kanye West or John Leguizamo Let them know I've been trying to get a hold of them to come on the podcast.
I needed to speak to Kanye. I got some words for him.
It probably costs a pretty penny to speak to that guy.
I'm getting it for free.
Okay,
Yeah,
get it. While you're
Again.
talking to him for free, let him know he needs to do my show for free as well.
Right.
I appreciate you. I appreciate
Thank
the
you.
time. Austin, play that funky music.